Amaze me and never cease to amaze me. I don't care where you go on earth. Every atrocity, every kind of hateful, ill will, debased, depraved thing globally, you go to the UK, America, you go to Africa, Israel, anywhere, Australia, a white man is the reason for the atrocity. Nobody notices that? Again, even when it comes to militia groups of the same race, right? They even orchestrate in the black community, Hispanic, Latino, even Asian communities. They even orchestrate and pay and incentivize people to terrorize their own people. Even behind the militias and gangs in y'all communities, whether you're black, Hispanic, Latino, and Asian, a white man plays a role in that. Ain't that crazy? That everywhere you find something demonic and evil, hateful, it's a white man. Everywhere. In every country. Who was that guy that got online? He was from Israel. When he was talking about how the statistics show, right, how much crimes, even in the UK to America, white men commit more than anybody else. The murder, per capita, child pornography, rape, molestation, sodomy, trafficking. You can get mad at what somebody's saying, but nobody notices how much you're involved with all this corruption, and nobody says to the world, we have a white Christian nationalist problem. And we do. Everywhere you go, there's violence, murder, and death. Carnage and poverty. Unrest. Civil unrest, injustice. You don't notice that? Everywhere you go, all the aboriginals are dehumanized, belittled, ridiculed, murdered, and killed using your police force, your government agents, your white vigilantes. You don't notice that everywhere you go, you leave carnage behind? Everywhere. Food used to be real. White man got over the food, now it's plastic. Air was clean. White man got over it. Now it's poisonous, killing people. Vaccines used to cure, now they give cancer and every other disease. And microism that go into the body and wreak havoc on the immune system, so that when you peddle out your diseases, people are more susceptible to die. Look at the carnage you leave behind. And you got the fucking nerve to look at black people when per capita you commit some of the most heinous shit. I don't ignore the crimes black people commit, but it's nowhere near to the extent of the white man. Nowhere near. You say that black people are violent, but you used to bring your children to lynching festivals. You say black people are violent, but police officers can't even just give a routine traffic ticket without punching, breaking out windows, or shooting or killing someone. Mostly all white, right? You say black people are violent, but white people can't even have their football team lose without tearing up a whole block. You say black people are violent, but you allow allegations against white pedophiles who are cannibal to go unchecked and uninvestigated. You say black people are violent. You become doctors to kill black people and medically malpractice them in hospitals. You say black people are violent. You weaponize your police for civil or man-to-man arguments in hopes for black people to be murdered over an argument or a disagreement. You say black people are violent, but you become police officers so that you can terrorize their community through treachery and brutality legally. You never look at yourself, do you? And anytime you have to, you get upset. Who's the real violent one? You say black people are violent, but you gun down Trayvon Martin, a 16-year-old kid with a Skittle bag and some juice. You say black people are violent. 3 white men ran after a man who was just jogging and shot him for nothing. You talk about black on black crime as if it wasn't orchestrated by you through your gang violence and your paid incentives to keep the gangs in the street, paid for by government. That's how the big homies get the guns. That's also how they get the drugs. You say black people are violent, but you're the one making the drugs that peddle into the communities. I don't think white people evaluate themselves for real. You say black people are violent, but the moment somebody gives their opinion that differs from yours, Charlie Kirk, because I thought he was your leader, you then kill him. You say black people are violent, but your children shoot up schools. You say black people are violent, but FBI has to look out for white domestic terrorists, his biggest problem in America when it comes to terrorists, not foreigners, not black people, but white men. I don't think you evaluate yourself. I think that you project all your evil to everybody else. And when confronted with who you really are, in your animalistic, barbaric behaviors, you then get upset as if somebody is telling a lie with all the evidence in front of you that shows you that you are violent. Black people peacefully protest. White man has a brick and throws it through a window so that people can loot. Black people peacefully protest. White woman sets on fire a Wendy's. Black people peacefully protest. White man orchestrates looting and rioting. It is insane to me how you can say that someone else is violent and not look at yourselves. How do you exclude yourself from the equation of violence in America when you yourself, white people, have literally been in every kind of atrocity in America? You participated. Don't listen to something you don't want to hear, Silver Car. It will upset you. You go around violently all the time, killing, raping, mass shooting, and you talk about other people being violent when it is you, white man, that is more violent than anybody. Every atrocity, a white man is there. Globally, you're there. You've killed, you murder. You have committed every heinous act thus far. And you talk about the violence of others while being violent. It's hypocritical, isn't it? And the moment somebody speaks on it, you get upset and show your violent behavior, as you always do. Because, of course, you are the most violent person on earth. Masquerading as a family man, but you're a Jeffrey Dahmer, a Ted Bundy. Right? An alleged rapist, Donald Trump. No matter where you seat yourself on this planet, you tend to always rob people of life, resources, energy, spirituality. Like a cancerous leech, you go from nation to nation, bringing carnage. And you keep talking about how violent black people are. We didn't drop a bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. You did. We didn't do the Tuskegee experiments. You did. We didn't do a study on child rape and make a book about it by raping infants 6 months old and older. You did. Do you evaluate yourself ever? Or is it just you sitting around projecting how evil you are to everybody else and saying, well, everybody got an evil. Everybody does. They just don't got it like you, plan. They just don't got it like you. You got the monopoly for evil. Destruction and carnage, you bring it everywhere. Everywhere you go, people are crying, starving, hurting. Injustice rules the nation. Depravity. You don't notice that? How don't you notice all of what you do that's evident? And then you're looking at immigrants, black people. No, boo. You are the common denominator. The Israel guy did the statistics from UK to America, Africa, the Middle East, Australia. When you go to these locations, the one thing that's in common is carnage and poverty brung by white people. No one is worse than you. You are the worst. You even orchestrate the same race conflict. Bloods and Crips used to be, they weren't even a thing. They were Boy Scouts, black men who came in and took fatherless boys and got them off the street. You peddled your drugs into black communities. You changed poetry into gangster rap. You filled and riddled our streets with guns because if these black men are so impoverished, how can they afford a gun? Who's giving it to them? What money do they have to buy kilos of crack? What money do they have to buy these guns? You give it to the big homie to give to the little man. A white supremacist said this. He said, we no longer lynch black people the same way. What we do is we put alcohol and drugs in their community and guns, and then we watch Fox News. They took the video down. You're violent. Your very existence is violent. To yourselves and everyone else. But you don't look at yourself, do you? You analyze everyone else but you. The proof isn't, don't get mad at me. Look at the evidence. Do you actually really look at FBI data? White men, according to FBI database, kill themselves 77 times more than black Americans. White men are 98% more of the time guilty for the very same crimes that black men are 89% exonerated for. That means you commit more crimes than black men. You know that? I bet you don't. You are very much more violent than anybody else. That's not a sign of superiority. Because even diabetes kills at the same rate. And that is a brainless, mindless disease that needs no merit. Being civil and communicate with others is a sign of superiority when you can articulate, understand, and have empathy. Your barbaric behaviors are a sign of inferiority, not superiority. Why do you think God has so much grace on man? Why do you think we do all this evil and God got so much grace? Have you ever asked yourself about a superior being who's absolutely superior? And you think, why does God not come down here? I hear this question a lot. And destroy man, seeing how wicked they are, because he's a superior being. He knows his own might and strength. He has nothing to prove. He gave man free will to be. He knows that any given moment, because he's a superior being, he has the ability to destroy if he wants to. But being that he's a superior being, it comes with great responsibility. So he has more empathy. And given how great of a being God is, extends the amount of grace he gives to inferior beings. You see why your barbaric treachery is a sign of inferiority? Empathy, patience is a sign of superiority. I think it was Jay-Z who said it. Jay-Z said, you want to know real power? Real power is knowing that you have the ability to kill someone and not doing it. That's a sign of being a superior being. Grace. Somebody who is all gung-ho, ready to kill at random, is an inferior being. That's why he can't extend grace. So you never showed that you were superior, because even children kill. You heard about the 8-year-old boy? Again, I said this before, who was picked at in school and bullied by his peers. So he found someone weaker, a 3-year-old boy walking himself to school. He took a rock and killed the little 3-year-old boy and sodomized him with a stick. Your murder and the thought of your superiority is about equivalent to an 8-year-old who murdered a 3-year-old. Even children can kill. So if your treachery and your murder is a sign of superiority, is that little redhead boy who sodomized and killed the 3-year-old superior to you? I'll wait. The 10-year-old little white girl who poked a little 9-month-old baby with a pencil, made it cry, and then stomped its brain in because she didn't want to get in trouble. She's a child. She could have committed murder. Heinous murder at that. Is she superior? Come on. It's a little black girl who killed her cousin over a phone. She's 11. She even went to hide the body and stage it like it was sleep. Is she superior? If superiority is measured by murder and your ability to be treacherous, then that would make these children superior as well. Right. I just wanted you to analyze yourselves for a little bit, because you're constantly talking about how violent other people are, and you never extend that to yourselves. White women become nurses to kill black women. Is that not violence? White women weaponize their tears to get black men murdered or incarcerated for the rest of their lives. Is that not violent? I don't think you guys evaluate yourself for real. I think that you do a lot of projecting and no self-reflecting, and that's where the problem lies. Stop looking at everybody else, because the true demon, the true evil and violent person is you. When you look in the mirror and you hear about your atrocities, how do you see a black man when the Epstein file is comprised of all white men? All white men. Raping, murdering, eating their own young. Hunting children like cattle. Turning them into muffins and ice cream and beef jerky. Sodomizing the boys. Raping the girls. Whole file. And yet you're looking at black people, calling us thieves. You stole a whole country through paperwork. You reclassified a whole nation of American Indians to Negro, colored, and black to take their land. You incentivize black people to then lie and mislead, dehumanize, and degrade their own people on social media. Is that not violent? You do not analyze yourself, so stop analyzing everybody else. The biggest theft in America history isn't a black man stealing out of a Walmart or a convenience store. Yeah, that needs to stop. But the biggest theft is a white man who stole millions of acres of land by reclassifying a group of people, calling them freedmen, Negro, colored, and black. Biggest theft in the world. You understand me? Stop looking at us when you do and commit more crimes than we do. There's no irony in me speaking on this. You always talk about everyone else and you never look at yourselves. Are there crimes in the black community? Yeah. That's in every community. Black people aren't in China. Crimes are committed in China. Black people aren't in Europe. Well, they are in Europe, but certain parts of Europe. Crimes are committed in certain parts of Europe where there's no black people. Anywhere you go, crimes are committed by people who commit crimes. But the common denominator, or the overwhelming amount of global atrocities thus far in every country has always had a white man orchestrating it or in it. You understand? You, my friend, are violent. You, my friend, are the thief. You, my friend, you are a rapist, a molester, a sodomite, a liar. Stop looking at everyone else. Start looking at yourself. Why do we call you out on your mess? Because you're always talking about us. You got the spotlight on black people all the time. You've even have our own people looking at us crazy. And you commit more crimes than we ever could commit per capita, just here in America. If Epstein files was full of black men, you would have crucified those black men. Allegations is what almost destroyed Michael Jackson's career, even without evidence. Allegations destroyed Bill Cosby's career, even without evidence. How is it that allegations don't do the very same thing to Donald Trump? You impeached Bill Clinton for cheating on his wife with an adult woman. How does the president get allegations and be in the Epstein file guilty by association because they say that when you go to these parties and it contains trafficking, even partaking is illegal? But yet nobody asks for his impeachment. You care more about discriminating against black people than you do protecting your own white children. So don't you dare fucking get mad at what I'm saying, because you don't even care about your own fucking kids. You get mad at what I'm saying because the conviction in your heart tells you that I'm matter-of-factly right. You let a pedophile sit in office, but you want to take the votes from black folk because you don't want to be fair. You want to, black man, if you do something wrong, you should go to jail, right? Hear what you just said. If you do something wrong, black folk should go to jail. And I agree with that. But I also agree that if white people do something wrong, they should go to jail. The superior being, your alleged attempt, punisheth the inferior beings more than himself. That's not godly. Satan was made perfect. It's the reason why him being a superior being, because even whether you acknowledge that or not, given the fact that he is an angel designed by God, he's superior, right? He got powers and things that we don't have. He was made a perfect being. Why was he not extended grace like man? Because we're inferior. God made Satan perfect. That's why he cannot enter heaven, because superior beings get dealt with differently and more harshly than inferior ones. So why are white men not holding themselves more accountable than black men, being that you said you are superior and we're inferior? That doesn't sound superior to me. If you're prosecuting the inferior beings while allowing yourself to participate in all kinds of heinous acts, never holding yourself accountable. Accountability is a part of superiority as well. Or did you not know that? Owning one's mistakes is a sign of superiority, maturity. Do you understand? Stop looking to everybody else. The evil is sitting in you. That's it. White people say black people is evil or violent. They have sundown towns. People of other races can't go on and walk through the neighborhood because they kill them. If you are not going to judge yourself adequately, then don't judge anybody else, is all I'm saying. Don't get on platforms calling people criminals, thieves, monkeys, especially if you chimp out yourself. White people chimp out all the time. A police officer can't even just pull you over without getting verbally or physically violent. His pride and ego comes first, not logic, patience, and empathy and understanding. And a pristine moral fiber that prevents you from hurting others. Hello, somebody. That doesn't sound like a superior race to me. God extends grace because how powerful He is. I would read the Bible and shudder at the idea of Him smoting me. Smoked sounds like just turning you into a puff of smoke. That's why He has so much grace. He's a superior being. You ever see a judge be lenient? I'll give you another example, humanly. You ever see judges be lenient? You know, judges who have the ability to, make or break your life. And you see them be lenient because they have so much power and they understand, That is a sign of power, empathy, grace. That is a sign of someone being superior. It's understanding that with a lot of power comes great responsibility, and you want to wield that power correctly. Someone who's inferior will wield power unresponsibly. Wielding power unresponsibly is a sign of inferiority. That's why you can't extend grace. It's also why you can't take accountability. Stay up, stay blessed. Put God first above all else. Peace out. Bye for now.